Welcome to Deadly Dames, and since I can't sleep I figured I would do this week's pickup video. And I really don't think I'm going to receive anything else through the post tomorrow. At least I can't remember expecting anything else, but I can always put it for next week if I do anyway. So I got a couple of steelbooks. Predestination, and this was one I actually seen a while ago. It looked quite interesting. It's about time travel, but it was always a wee bit more expensive, so I kind of held off getting it because I'm a wee bit more reluctant to do blind buys these days. I had a really bad run of luck, like literally every time I bought one, just because it either sounded good on the back. I think what it is that a lot of slipcases are deceiving these days. They look great, they have really great artwork on it, and it's funny because there's actually a movie in this pile which explains exactly what I'm talking about, but they have great artwork that makes them look amazing. The small description on the back makes the movie sound really amazing, but most of these movies that I do blind buys are utter crap, so I generally try to hold off until the price is half decent. This movie did actually sound very good, but I just thought I'd hold off anyway, so I got the steelbook pretty cheap. I've still to watch it. It does look really good, so that's one steelbook. And then this other one here, I have actually seen this movie before, but it's been a long time, and I did enjoy it. And when I seen the steelbook was only £2, I thought, right, there's something not right there, because this steelbook for Salt usually is a lot more expensive. It was in Computer Exchange, and the woman behind the counter explained to me that the person that took it in actually took it in as a standard movie, and that's why the steelbook was so cheap. So I thought, I'm just going to get it whilst it's down that low. I won't see that again. So glad I picked that one up. And then Blu-ray wise, I'll just separate the DVDs and Blu-rays. I picked up, again, I was waiting for this to come down in price. I do actually like the first movie and the second movie. It's just a bit of adventure fun. It's not something that you need to think about too much. I actually love Emily Blunt and Charlize Theron's characters in this more than the heroes' characters. Yeah, just was waiting for it to come down in price. So that's The Huntsman Winter War. I didn't realise that Severin was releasing things in the UK now. I'm guessing when I looked at the catalogue that there's been a couple of things which will come out over here, but this is the first one I've actually seen in the shop, and it's based on a James Herbert's movie, The Survivor. I thought it sounded quite good. Claire's actually read the book and she said she didn't really enjoy it, but I'm going to give the movie a chance. I'm going to see what it turns out like. This one I've actually watched, which was Salou Station, so this is the pre-sequel to Train to Busan. It was good. The animation in it's beautiful, but the animation that they do, excuse me, I'm losing my voice. The animation that they do for these types of movies is always very, very seamless and very pretty, but the only thing is it's not as good as Train to Busan, and the main reason why is the characters in this, and I hope I'm not spoiling anything for MD here, they're not very clever. They run away from zombies but leave doors open and things like that, and I think I would have enjoyed this a little bit more had they made the characters have a little bit more of a survival instinct. I know that obviously in a crappy situation you don't know how you're going to react, but I think after leaving your fifth door open you would realise, wait a second, these things are still coming, and perhaps think to close the door behind you. But it is still really, really good, and I'm hoping to see more, because they've kind of seemed to have started a bit of a trend with Train to Busan and in the station one, and I'd like to see them develop more and do some more with this storyline, so I hope to keep it going. And then from Arrow Video I picked up the Dead or Alive trilogy. I have never seen any of these. I actually had Dead or Alive 1 on Tartan Video for a long time, and I still hadn't watched it, but these look really interesting. The slipcover's really nice, obviously it's the same art underneath, but I do really like the slipcover, so looking forward to giving these ones a watch. Upgraded my Piranha 3D to Blu-ray because it was so cheap, it was unbelievable. I love this film, it's just stupid and fun, and that's what you need from a movie like this. Also upgraded my Ghost Shark. If you've never seen Ghost Shark, I recommend watching it. This movie is so stupid, but it's fun. I mean, it knows it's stupid. If you're making a movie about a ghost shark, you can't make it serious. I know that Sharknado's quite successful in having a stupid film where they all play it very serious, and that's fine. But this one, you kind of know you're going to have to play it a bit daft. But there's scenes in this that literally have me howling out loud. Like, there's a scene where the ghost shark can basically manifest itself in any form of water. So there's a scene like where there's a bunch of big boobed girls cleaning the car, and then it manifests itself in like in the bucket of water and in the sponge and stuff like that, and starts eating them. Oh, it's really funny. It's just so stupid. It is really, really funny though. Definitely worth watching. And then from 88 Films, these just came in this morning, so I got another slasher collection. You know, the slasher collection's a hit or a miss, isn't it? You get some in there that you're like, it's a really good movie, but then you get some crap. Like, I watched Mountain Top Motel Massacre. I'm sure that's what it's called. That was so boring. Like, I just kept wanting to see somebody go crazy and kill people, and yeah, she did kind of kill folk, but it definitely wasn't one of their best. I picked up Return to Horror High. I have actually seen this before, so I know it's not the greatest movie in the world, but it's entertaining. I mean, it knows what it is. And then I also picked up on the Italian collection, Delirium. I love the Italian collection. I've fallen way behind in watching them because so many of them are being released. I mean, it used to be you got one like every couple of months or every month, but now it's like every week one goes up for pre-order. And in fact, I almost pre-ordered, is it the Masked Avengers or I think it's the Masked Avengers, but it's very, like, to do it direct from them, it is quite expensive, and I almost did it just for a slipcover, and then I thought, wait a second, why am I pre-ordering this movie which I've never seen, and I actually haven't watched any of the Asian collection yet, just for a slipcover. And they're not like Arrow Video, they don't give free postage, which is fine because obviously a company's got to pay to post things, so I guess that they've got to make the money there somehow. But if I put the postage on it, it was going to be like 17 quid, and I thought, no, I'll just hold off until it's in HMV or it's on a sale. So I had to restrain myself, should I say. But yeah, I had to have this one. The Italian collection I do really enjoy. And then from Second Sight Films, I picked up an upgrade of The Brood. Great movie, great David Cronenberg film. And it's one of those films that I really needed to upgrade it to Blu-ray, and it was down really cheap in FOP. And then DVD wise, so I got Stakeland 2. So Dylan Bean will be really happy to see this because we had a little chat not that long ago, actually, maybe about a month ago, about how good Stakeland is, and I'd said that I'd heard through the grapevine that there was going to be a sequel. And then there was like nothing about it, and then all of a sudden here's the sequel. It was really good, the sequel, actually. I watched it today. I really enjoyed it. It wasn't as nail biting as the first one, because obviously in the first one you really got to, excuse me, choking on air. You really got to feel how lonely and isolated these characters were, and it was kind of like that in this one. But of course you don't want a carbon copy of the first film. I did really enjoy it. I don't like that they haven't given us in the UK, they haven't given us a Blu-ray release. Now I had a look online today, and I think Australia's got a Blu-ray release, but for whatever reason we didn't get one here. It is a good film. Hopefully they will release a Blu-ray and I can upgrade it, and it's definitely worth watching it. Right, so here's down to the two blind buys that I picked up. So the first one, which you'll hopefully have a little laugh at. The reason why I bought it is because the title was so stupid. And I thought this movie's going to be crap, but with a title like that I'm willing to give it a go. And that is The Beaster Bunny. It made me laugh. And looking at this cover, it just looked ridiculous. Now, this is one of these covers that fools you, because that bunny on the front here looks like a bunny lizard morphed crazy creature. The bunny on the back looks like a bunny kangaroo morphed crazy creature. The bunny, which is actually in the movie, is like a puppeteered, someone made it out of glue and fuzz, stuck over the top of the film. And it's funny because the whole way through, one of its legs looks completely broken. Now this film is really funny, but it's so bad. It's so bad, but very, very funny. apparently in this movie, when a giant bunny attacks you, the first thing that happens is your pop tops off, because obviously that's natural. If you're a woman, your breasts have to fall out. Then you put your arms straight up in the air, not even just a little side bit to the side, straight up in the air and wave them whilst hysterically screaming. But for whatever reason, you don't run away. You just wait there to be killed. It's so silly. I mean, they knew when they were making this film that they had no budget and they didn't really have good actors, and they kind of knew that it wasn't going to be a great film, so I think they played on that and they just made it as ridiculous as they possibly could. There's a couple of scenes in it that's just, I actually laughed out loud at because it was just so stupid. Like the girl tweeting, and she says, "Oh, I have to tweet about this while she's getting killed." It was just silly and funny. It's definitely not a serious film, so if you're looking for a serious Easter Bunny killer film, don't watch this one. But if you're looking just for a really stupid film with stupid effects that doesn't take itself seriously and you just want to laugh at how bad and cheesy it is, then this is the film for you. Every second scene has a woman. It's always a woman getting killed. Occasionally there's a guy that appears, but it's only because he's with the woman. And I swear to God it's the same woman for most of the scenes, because I kept thinking, hasn't she just been killed? So clearly the maker of this film had a certain type of woman that he liked, because she kept getting killed over and over again. But it was definitely worth a watch. In fact, it was so bad, but so entertaining, that I definitely would watch this one again. Now that brings me to the next blind buy. Now I'd actually read about this one in a magazine, and it didn't have very good reviews. The reason why I bought it was for, I can never say her name correctly, is it Katie Sackhoff? And the lassie that was in Sing Street, which really took me by surprise. So Starbucks and the lassie for Sing Street. And to be honest, the storyline didn't sound all that bad. So I picked up Don't Knock Twice. And I tweeted after watching this that we changed its name to Don't Watch Twice, which I'm sticking by. The problem with this movie, and it was very similar to what I said about the movie The Forest, is that there was actually a good idea at the core of this film, but it just had no structure. It was all over the place, and they didn't seem to know what direction they wanted to take it in. It was almost like they overcomplicated a simple story, and they could have made it so much better, because the music was actually pretty creepy in this. The acting was actually pretty good in it. And the actual creature effects and the characters and the way it moved, like the bad presence, the witch or whatever demon or whatever you want to call it, the way it moved about was actually really good. So there was things about this film that were really, really good. They just didn't put it together properly, which was a shame. So it was like they gave this great backstory to who this character was, because obviously they put on here like you knock once to wake her up and then twice to raise her from the dead. Was supposed to be like a character that the kids had taunted. I would never have had them knock on the door. They didn't need to. They drove this woman to insanity by doing it to her while she was alive. That's enough for this demon to come back and haunt them. They don't need to then have them go back and chap the door before disappearing. They could have just had that's the reason why the demon came after them, is because they were the ones that taunted her. And I know I'm doing a bit of a spoiler here, but it was worth one watch, which is exactly why we dubbed it Don't Watch Twice, because you wouldn't watch it again, which is a shame, because I really wanted it to have like a hidden magic to it. This movie could have been good, and it's just a shame that it wasn't put together right. But yeah, that's all of this week's pickups, and as always, if you want to chat about them, leave any comments below, and please like and subscribe. I'm going to be doing a wee follow-up to the 200 subscriber competition, which I'll do after this, and you can see what I mean on that one. But thank you as always for watching. Please like and subscribe and take care. Bye.